Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here. Welcome back to some more of our road to the league with Southport. Voice probably a little rough. Was at the Bears game yesterday. Today is, well, actually 2 days ago because this is Tuesday's episode, which is why I'm not putting out Mondays because I didn't record yesterday. But yep, fun game with that one, them being the Rams. And today we're gonna have Celtic and Swansea City today. So let's have these two games. The Europa League phase here, where we are second, 1 point behind Villarreal. I think if we win this, we're pretty much in at this point. And then for the league itself, when we look back, because I think we were after Salernitana, I could not get anything going against Manchester United. We go ahead and take that 4-0 loss, but we bounce back against Sunderland 2-0 or 2-1. Go back in the Europa League with Besiktas 2-0, and then back in the league with Bournemouth with a 5-2, and then a 3-0 against Nottingham Forest and a 2-0 against Sheffield United. So where's that put us in the league? Second, 6 points behind Man City. And really, it's just these two losses between us, which are against the top teams. So there's that. If we can just win all of our other games and just kind of get through, I think we can get probably a Champions League spot, or at least get in at fifth, which will likely be a Champions League spot. But we're doing pretty good in the Europa League. From that, I get a couple things to talk about. We have two players going out. I'm not sure if we saw this last episode. With 70 million to Arsenal, Robert, I mean, he's not going to get any better. I feel like our two players in the middle are probably better at this point. And Bresson is probably going to be up to his caliber as well. When I'm looking at him, he's not up there yet, but I think he could be. So I think it's still pretty good. I kind of swap out. And then Washburn wanted to play. We were selling it for 20 million. We got bids. I said 25 million. Then we got more bids. And I said 30. And I got it all the way up with the intermediary fee of about 2.3. He is going to Newcastle for 40 million. So with that in mind, this cash isn't reflected here, but it's 137. I did spend one. Bring in a player, going to be 18-year-old that could play midfield, but all the way up the top and a little bit of wing on the side. And that's going to be the Dutch youngster, 18 years old, Boy Rutfield. Probably mispronouncing that because it is Dutch. But hey, decent off the ball with that. Teamwork, vision, anticipation is there. Decision, composure, finishing. We could probably be more of a box-to-box, or if we need him to play some of Mezzala, he's there. Probably more of a Mezzala because his tackling is not great. On the wing, I think he's a pretty good player for like a wing player. Doesn't need tackling for that. Crossing needs a little work, but both-footed, and I think this could be a good guy that could play Mezzala role, but also fill in at the top if we need him to. Probably ultimately a guy we sell later on down the road. Just Martin Ramirez clause. I'm just gonna sell that clause. I don't think that's we're gonna get that. Kind of looking at that price. I'm not gonna get anything more than that. Okay. So one thing I did try in between episodes. Sorry about that. I had to get a drink of tea there. Gonna keep it going. I tried to get Manalo, but I don't think this is happening. Tried to give him like 160 million for him. They just wouldn't take it. I'm gonna see if I can get him for a top target and just see if that even comes in. Otherwise, the other guy we're probably gonna bring in is Emmanuel Etam. I messed up his negotiation with him. Accidentally lowballed him because I pressed the button too many times and reverted back. So we're going to bring him in. It's probably going to take a couple of weeks. And I'm not sure if there's anyone else we're going to bring in at the end of the day. A lot of players that are pretty expensive out there, but we'll have to see who becomes available. All right, here we go. Celtic, we're playing a 4-3-3. We'll come out with our 4-2-2. Washburn and Robert there. Our middle is going to be out. We do have some injuries that we've taken. Exfil will be fine. It's a little bit of a fitness issue. Had a knock in practice. Nothing crazy. We're slowly getting him back up. Askarov was injured. I'd say probably a week, probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. In that, we're getting him back up to fitness. He is going to be an emergency player for today. He did fail his fitness test, but I think he's an emergency from there. Erwish did actually pass his fitness test. Issue with him was more of an ankle sprain. He's coming off only a slight knock, nothing crazy. And Stadvik in that 2-0 win over Besiktas got a sprained ankle as well. He is an emergency player. He did fail, but yeah, if we need some players back there, we can force them in. Otherwise, is Brisson going to be playing on the left? He's been playing all right here, actually, which is actually pretty nice. Probably be teaming up as a fullback over here. But he's been playing well. Decent Prem player at this point, which I'm not opposed. He's up to Washburn's probably ability now. And I think by the time he turns 23, he will be up to Robert's actual ability. So I'm feeling good with it. And if someone actually wants him for 30 million, that's an easy sell right there. That's an easy sell. So submit the team, go forth, do good things. We need something. And that something is a win. And if we win this, we'll book our pathway into the round of 16. So this is for qualification. And I think from there, if we can get this and probably one more point, we're probably in the top 8 at that point. I would love to overtake Villarreal. I don't think we play them. So we're just going to have to beat them. Overall in goal total and points, it's up to Martin. Martin getting completely up to fitness after taking a knock. He's going to put it to Rios. Rios is going to hit the post. That's a sad state of affairs. Come on, boys. Let's get this going. Wait, is this Tor that we... It is. This is Tor who we sold to Celtic. We have a former Southport player over on Celtic. Okay. They have 2 shots, none on target. We have 3 with 2 on target. Let's demand a little more here. We have possession. It's here. Pass is complete. It's good. We just have to put the ball in the back of the net. But that'll have to happen in the second half because that's not going anywhere with that. And we need more from the boys. All right, here's Rios. Picking it up. Going back to tomorrow. We also have Malik, who is on African Cup of Nations right now. So he is out until probably late January. As Connor Martin slots that in, and that's going to be a goal. So instead of him playing, we got Chamorro out here playing, kind of going in and out with Excel. Excel can't really grow. Chamorro has a little bit of space here that he could grow a little bit more. And with him growing a little bit more here, he's just playing well. Yes, he has a fickle mentality, and it might end up being that we like sell him because he's not going to be big, but I think we actually could Excel up at some point. And we sell him before we do anything. But because of this defensive issue, we've been playing like this because we've been playing Excel back here, and he has played that little bit of defense back there prior. So we'll put him in. We'll put Bear Wish. We'll get some time for the youngster. Let's play him. Play him as a box to box here. We'll have Aurelia coming on the left side. Enrique will come up on the top. I want Martin to be in. Flip there. And now we'll have Enrique. And then our last sub will be... Who will it be? Enright, maybe? Let's get Jorgensen over on the right side. Redeem a little bit of time off the field. It is only 1-0. It is Celtic, but we're taking a pretty good command of this game, and I still feel pretty good about Enrique scoring up top and Martin. So I don't feel like we've weakened ourselves massively. Maybe a little bit in the midfield with Bearwish, but it's just the sole fact that we're tired right now. A lot of games are very close together, and I think we just need to have some good saves by the keeper, Ronaldson, as he makes one there. That's what we need. Ronaldson coming through. There's also a goalkeeper identified, but I don't think a goalkeeper is really worth 120 million. It's not something you really pay for a goalkeeper. For like a striker or midfielder, something like that. But for a keeper, I'm not sure if it's a good actual like use of funds. But that's just me, as Celtic here trying to do a counterattack here in the 84th minute. Austin's going to take that up possession, go all the way back to Ronaldson. Ronaldson, big kick, going deep. Enrique, good touch. Back to Varelia. Playing Ramirez. Ramirez plays it through. Enrique, touch, he's onside. Shot. First one's blocked. Bounce goes to him. He gets the second effort. Enrique puts it in the back of the net. Ramirez right now, when it comes to his ability, he's going to be good. And Torba, who we sent over to Bayern, he's a world-class player. So there's that as well. So we could add two world-class players playing next to each other with Ramirez and Charbaya in the middle, but it was not meant to be. It was just not meant to be. Jorgensen out wide, looking, crosses there. Martin can't make the play. Varelia. Ramirez header, and there is Kevin Ramirez, his 9th goal of the season. 3-0. 3-0 over Celtic. 2 goals in the last 10 to 15 minutes. We'll take that. I will definitely take that. Oh, the menu's already up. Ramirez here. 3 key passes. 2 clear-cut chances. Does have a goal. I mean, an assist by Varelia. Like, I feel good that we did absolutely great. Great win, boys. And there is punching us in. Oh, we're the top dog. Top dog. We've secured a playoff spot. But top dog. Okay, now that is interesting. Because with only 2 games left, Lugarats and Tarnava, we could end up having first. Now, I'm not sure if this works the same way, but do we get a possible boost with this? Well, let's see. Tickets wise. Oh, it's rules. Here it is. There is. So it's about 1 million. That it'll probably end up being probably about 2 million when it comes to TV rights and finish and all that stuff. So that's actually pretty good. For our money, I think we'll be fine. Probably going to spend. We're also the rumors of a takeover. That's been coming through a couple of times. Just rumors. consistently for the last month and a half to 2 months, so they're not being ruled out by any means. They're just all rumors, but the owner loves the club, so you never know. You never know. So, as we go through this, I'm going to talk a little bit about our plans for next year's game, which does have a release date. I think it's the 29th or 26th? 26th of November is a new Football Manager game. There's nothing in particular that's that I really have planned other than we're going to try to do the same thing we did this. It might have to be down to the National League team, which Panorama National League, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but I know we're going to start probably for the first save because there's no beta that's been announced. We have no idea if there's going to be a beta. It could very well be one because they start revealing stuff in about, like, revealing mechanics and menus and stuff in about a week. So maybe the actual beta will be announced then. I'm not sure, but when we have the game in hand and we first play our first one, it is going to be a Juventus save, and we're going to have fun with Juventus. I'm not sure because there's a lot of stuff in this. I have no idea how this game's going to be going into next year. So there's so much stuff that's up in the air with it. And I know we'll at least do that. And likely we have to do another road to the league wise. I'm just not sure how it's going to work out with databases, things like that. I don't think anyone really knows, but I'd imagine it's the same way. So do a fun little Juve save, and then probably into when that database comes out, probably by, since it's November and it's not September, October. So we're looking at probably starting this around January timeframe. So the new year will be the start of a new road to the league, more than likely. Unless I somehow rig something else together and we go with that. We also have a possibility of taking in Fury. I just don't see it. I'll put him back on the targets. But yeah, 68 million. Just not sure if he's there. All right, Swansea City. And then we'll do a little preview of what I'm thinking when we go through. Youth intake. Ooh, they're saying it's going to be a good youth take of center backs, defensive midfielders, and strikers. Hopefully that's true because I would love a good intake at this point. I don't think we can increase the anything other than maybe, now that I'm thinking about this, like we're maxed. We got our like training for our first team facilities. Our youth facilities need a little work. Swansea City's playing a 4-4-2 here. Askarov did pass his fitness test, so he is going to be in. We'll bring in Person. Stadvik failed his fitness test. Barawish did pass his. Let's get him in instead of Lung Kenwright. Kenwright, we'll have him playing at the under 21s at this point. And I think getting our man there is another thing. Now, Miloslavic with his knee injury is way off. Can't do general rehab. It's going to take a long time for him to come back. I think, though, he is going to be a good player for us. Alvi Santos, under contract for another year after this. Redeem is also in contract for another, like 3 years. So I think the key might be is to sell Redeem. Alvi Santos plays either left or right because he can play either or. But remember, Alvi Santos is also 35 years old. So I think probably the best thing to do is sell probably Alvi Santos if we need to. Because Miloslavic will be slowly slotting in, and Alvi Santos will kind of move He'll be starting either here or on the other side, regardless when he comes back. But we're talking about something that is probably the last month of the season. Get him into some games. So same starting lineup tomorrow here at box to box midfielder. He is already having some good game rolls with Ramirez. Malik is still out. He's back day after Christmas, so Boxing Day. Another 2 weeks or so. He'll probably miss that game on Boxing Day if there is one. Because he will be not up to fitness. But it's okay. So we're at home. We have a good streak at home. We're playing pretty well in the league right now. We need to keep on winning these games of these teams that are below us. We cannot be shocked by any of these lower league teams. Or not lower league, but lower in the table teams. Going back, Ramirez, header this over. In a minute and almost put it in by Iron Guard. It's just not on target. It actually is a pretty good XG attempt, though. Game thinks we probably should have scored there. Griffiths from back. Selena. I like the passing. Austin. Good one. Avi Santos immediately crosses. Rios header off the post. And Guzman heads it away. Gabriel forming a counterattack here. Trying to get back into defense. There it is. Austin clears it. Bounces off Khalil. Was that Khalil Tahini? Come on, boys. We should have scored in that one. Bruno Debach on Swansea looks like he's taking a knock. One of their midfielders, defenders. I didn't see it too quickly. Good ball up. Martin shot, and that is going to be an upper 90 right side. This year we haven't really had one player that's really stuck out and scored all of our goals. I feel like it's spread out pretty well right now, which is interesting. Which is very interesting. Now, Martin's probably at the top of his game right now. I don't think, like, ability-wise, he's going to get any better. That's a good shot. Rios is also at the top of his game. Switching in between a 4 to a 4.5. Kind of going, fluctuating up and down from there. Nothing crazy with that. Now, he's considered like a borderline world-class player. So I think it's kind of dependent on his form. If his form's great, then he's considered a world-class player. His form is kind of struggling a little bit, then he's not. I'm pleased with the number of shots that we've taken. Keep it going. They've taken 2 subs because of 2 injuries. All the way wide. Avi Santos is going to get there first. Played in. Rios, header, can't win it. Something Rios typically does get tomorrow. Takes it out of possession. Deflection. Griffiths. Cross. Rios can't get there. Martin over the net. Another good goal scoring chance. XG is a 1.61. We probably should have 1 to 2 goals here. Probably 2. Rios. Austin looking. Gonna play it deep. Redeem over the top. I don't know what the defender's doing. Crossing. Griffiths going back post. Ramirez. And there's Kevin Ramirez for another goal. Back-to-back games. And Kevin Ramirez is getting it done right now in that Gonzalo role. I knew it was going to take a little bit of time, but I kind of figured once he started going that he was going to be good. And that he is coming as advertised right now. Let's praise him. Griffiths going over. Redeem. Loses the ball. Just slightly unfortunate. Lasingo looking for the cross. Tomorrow's there. Slide tackle out. And what a shot by Kralovic. Kralovic. Or is it Karlovic? Is it really Karlovic? That would be. No, it's not Carl because it's Kral. I'm thinking of the meme from The Walking Dead. Even though it's a sad time in the show, but the meme is fire. Carl memes. All right, let's win this. Well, don't really have to win it in the air. I don't know what the defender's doing or the offender. Santos taking a touch, probably way too many touches. He puts that in, and even if he plays this weak foot inside, which I think Alvi Santos is left-footed. Yeah, he's both-footed, so I'm not sure why he doesn't play that. That was a good shot by Redeem. Looks like the keeper had to punch it over and hit the post. Back post. Rios, 3 white jerseys around there to try to prevent him scoring. Austin, not take that shot. That's not a good shot. All right, let's come in. Let's take Askarov out. I think he's 67. I think he's supposed to be out by now. Brisson's going to come in the middle. Let's get Bearwish in. And I think Ramirez has the ability to do a little bit. So let's go Ramirez here. Excel. Up top. I'm going to keep that. We're going to go Enrique here. I'm going to go Varelia in. And our change in the back will be Jorgensen, Ramirez. Let's wait. For Santos, maybe. I'm thinking for Santos. Yeah, he's nervous. Yeah, let's take out Santos and let's go Jorgensen. I think. Because Bearwish can play on the left, but he can't play on the right. Really, okay, yeah. So we'll go with that. It's still a pretty solid look. Jorgensen has had a couple of goals over the course of the last couple of games he subbed in. Rios from the back post does what he does best, and that's winning the ball in the air. This 18 header is absolutely insane. Just one-on-one. Defender misplays it. What's his jumping ability as well? 15? That's still a pretty good jumping ability too. All right, let's praise the boys. 3-1 right now. We're Swansea City. I mean, these are the games you have to win, right? The games you're expected to win should be the games you're winning, which allows Bearwish and Brisson to have a little bit of experienced here in league play. Not really worried about money. If we need to like move around money to make sure we're not over the wage budget, not really worried about that. But at the end of the day, getting those two guys some actual time is going to help them in the long run. Brisson knowing all these positions in the back will end up like harming his development a little bit, but I think that is something. That's the case, because if you know multiple positions, that actually takes down from your potential. As we come up to 3 points behind Man City there. This is Rios, 1 assist, 1 goal. 5th straight win for us, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'll look at Brisson. Oh, where is he? Bernard Brisson. So like this here, he's almost a max because of how many positions, but also foot. If he's good with feet is another thing. So he may not get like explosively better than this because of how many positions he knows. However, I think he'll probably get up to 4. He is considered a wonder kid, so we might as well play him at this point. All right, so next episode we're going to come back to is the FA Cup. which is the start of the January transfer window. We'll probably have a couple of transfer windows in there. I'll be playing through Southampton, Aston Villa, Everton. Man City is a big game. So maybe we'll have Man City and Sunderland in next episode. So we'll see what we can do against the big boys who are right above us, because that could be a big game. As for the players I am looking at right now, because we do have, I think on all of them, 103. So I don't think this is reflected completely. But it might be around that ish. I don't know. I still have 3 other under 21 players. I almost said under 18. Under 21 players that we can bring in. I'm still kind of looking through some of these guys that we could possibly bring in when they're 18. Looking at if we can bring anyone substantial in that doesn't like kill us in the long run. Also looked at players that were listed. Would be listed for whatever reason. I'm still trying to get a couple of players in to see. Say like they're listed and they're doubtful on here. Just looking at their ability to see if we can pull them in. There's not a lot here. This is players in range that are listed. Looking at transfers, there's a couple in there. Mario just popped up, but again, if I'm going to do anything, it's going to be a goal scorer rather than anything. Here's the goalkeeper I was looking at. He's good. The issue is he really worth this much money? Probably. As we compare him to Ronaldson. The issue is Ronaldson is still growing also. So that's something we have to be aware of. Ronaldson is still growing. Now, Sunderland wants him. They're not going to have him. They can have Benitez if they actually do want him. And I'm kind of looking at some other players. At one point, I was looking at Vedran here. I mean, he's still playing in Saudi Arabia. I'm trying to deal with anyone that would be susceptible to injuries, because we're having that same problem with Martin. And it's like, who can really come in who doesn't have injury issues? And every single player like I look at that could be those top players end up having some kind of issue. Like he doesn't, but we're not going to be able to afford him. Like Real Madrid. Fury comes back time and time again, but it's like, do I need another player? Like with him, not really. You have Alvarez that's asking to leave, but I think he's at max potential. We don't really need a starter in the back. So I'm still kind of looking through and figuring out what I want to do in the long run. Because when I then look at what could be in here, Scott Fletcher kind of stands out for me. He's going to need a lot of development, but I think he could be one that comes in and does a little bit of something. And also pretty cheap in the grand scheme of things. Let's look at most the under 21 prospects. Fury is probably the best one that would come here. Are these the guys that are listed? No. Is that most? There we go. I think I accidentally hit that. Like when I'm going through, I see a couple of good players in here. A couple of players that are a bit unhappy that might end up being good buys for us. Like Guerrero does have like an injury issue. And I think we just work our way, and I'll kind of let you know probably the next episode we get in, because this guy also looks really good as well. And he's from Salzburg. he could be really good playing out in a wing. The issue becomes almost Slavic can play on the right. So actually, yeah, that works out. We could bring in Ackerman here, and he could actually develop as a guy, as a winger, and if we need him in emergency, he could play in the middle. I mean, that's a good one as well. He has 20. There's that. He would count against our number. I'm really looking for players that could be 18 and developed that we could sell later. So that kind of gives you an idea what my thought process is, what we're thinking about right now as we go into the transfer window. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Sorry for the not having the episode on Monday, but we're gonna go through. Voice held up, had some tea, stuff like that. So thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys next time. Later.